Sue Storm as a character used to be a real feminine icon. That's different than feminist icon. It's feminine. And that was what made her great. Everybody loved the Invisible Girl. Everybody loved everything that was going on with her. Fantastic Four really was a beautiful thing because it showed family correctly. It showed Reed Richards as the patriarch, the leader. She was the dutiful wife, and he could get to a point where he'd ignore her sometimes, and she'd get really annoyed by it, and they'd have conflict over that. That's he's too focused on his work. That's kind of a reality. And then you'd have Johnny Storm, like the kind of swashbuckling, fun adventurer, and you'd have him foiled with the Thing. Even adding in Valerie and Franklin as their kids, like it added a lot of dynamic that was beautiful. And it's such a real wholesome family dynamic and such a positive presentation of such that Marvel Comics just can't have it, right? And the movies can't have it either. And that's exactly what's happening here. Now, I didn't know until now that they had just rebooted again a Fantastic Four with an all-new #1 first issue. Yay. Please clap. I don't know why this works on comic book fans so much, but it does. Every single time they do this, they just get this giant sales boost. It only lasts a couple of issues, and then it goes right back down. But it does work every time. It's like, why do people still go for this? And that just leads me to all of my conclusions I've been talking about on JDA Talks Comics here about how we need to change the comic industry where it's not about a brand. It's not about a collector's item. It's not about let's CGC grade this real quick. This fake fear of missing out. They care more about that than actually reading stories. And nobody actually reads these stories anymore. Even comic shop books. My comic retailer insiders tell me that they believe maybe 30% of people actually read the books they buy. Most of them just bag and board them as some sort of collecting habit. It's kind of weird. Now on the other front, we have a healthy industry actually going on which is webcomics. Webtoon, Tapas, and Archaven, all building just things based on storytelling, people reading stories. That's what we're trying to cultivate here because we need a new movement that's going to supplant this. And a lot of people started a movement in 2018, Comicsgate, you boy Zach, but they did the exact same thing the mainstream comic industry did while pretending to be an alternative to the mainstream comic industry. So I'm trying to build things differently and do things a little better with our new movement, guys, which is all about reading. And so I have put up Flying Sparks because I believe in this so much that you will enjoy this. It's a good superhero story. I've got a feminine character, much like Sue Storm used to be in Metagirl, and I've got a masculine character in Johnny and another masculine character in Metaman, who are wonderful characters in a beautiful superhero world that I'm developing right here. And so we're doing a lot with this stuff. We've got exclusive comics if you want to become a paid subscriber. I did a commentary track for the paid subscribers that actually goes through all the little writing things that I went through to actually think about that issue. There's a lot. It's a pretty deep story, and it ends up being 15 issues. I don't know what I'm going to post after that's done, but I'm posting new pages every day, one at a time, just to help you guys read. And so check this out. This is what we want to develop, the webcomic sort of model where you read and then you subscribe as a patron who wants to support me and my arts and build the business here, build everything on so we can continue and foster and build this real alternative that's not looking a lot like everything else out there. And that is exactly the future. So thanks for being here. Grab this. Sign up in the description below. You can read all the stuff, the old stuff for free. You can get new stuff, Extra Sensories, a exclusive comic for the paid subscribers. And I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to do more and more as this builds, and it's great stuff. If you're on Subscribestar, same content. Substack, Subscribestar are free speech platforms. That's why I'm on these guys. And grab this in the description below. Sign up and read today. Thank you guys for being here. So yes, we're trying to do something different than this because it's just ridiculous. Now, Marvel's relaunch of the Fantastic Four with the all-new #1 first issue is beyond just a cynical marketing play. It's an attempt to push feminism narrative that's pervasive in the upcoming movie where Sue Storm is now the leader of the Fantastic Four. Yeah, that's what they've done. The movie has Pedro Pascal being a cuck because he is one, and Sue Storm's the leader. It's her story, not his story. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. And on top of that, you see that with the replacement Shala Ball Silver Surfer character. And I'm seeing a lot of trending comics like people really are just going for the brands again. They're just going, oh, it's totally fine that Black Cat's black in Ultimate Spider-Man because it's an alternate universe. It's not even the same Black Cat. Why? Oh, that's not woke. It's like, they just replaced the character in their Ultimate Unit, which is their main selling universe now. It's not even really the alternate universe. That's what sells the most. And they just made her black because they wanted to make her black. Like, I mean, they wanted to diversify Marvel, so you're just accepting it because it's an alternate universe. It's really sad that that people have just really accepted the slop from Marvel on this level. And it's the same with DC. Like, absolute Batman's the best. Wow. Well, they race swap Barbara Gordon, too. They're doing the exact same things over and over and over again. And they've done it so much now, a lot of readers are conditioned to just accepting it. And it's really, really sad. But this is the absolute state of Marvel and DC Comics at this juncture. So in this, they are doing it again. And this is the new relaunch of the Fantastic Four. And it is cynical. On the marketing level with the number ones, it's like, oh, the movie's coming out. I better have a number one first issue in shops so that people can buy that number one because that's going to help with the movie, like, sort of tale. And I guess that's one way to do it. But they've been relying on this technique of just, like, restarting these books over and over and over again for a long, long time. Amazing Spider-Man just rebooted with an all-new number one a couple months ago. You had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all new number one last year. And it's like, how many times can you keep doing this? People keep buying into it like it matters, right? Now, this one's even weirder because it's the same writer. The last Fantastic Four iteration, they didn't even change writers. They've got the same writer on it, but they just gave it a number one just to, like, try to force that fake sales boost. If that doesn't tell you, like, what it's all about, it's not about the comics, it's not about reading, it's just about that stupid number one first gimmick, and that's what they think of comic readers as pay pigs. They really do. That exemplifies it more than anything else when they're not even changing the creative team. They can't even go that far with this. So they just did an Emperor Doom storyline where Doom is, like, you know, a Trump stand-in again. You know, it's, like, painful. And it was a terrible event. And it's over now, and he's back. And the first issue, he just sends the Fantastic Four into 4 different timelines, separates them, and they're all at different points in history alone. And trapped out there, and they're going to have to get back, right? Okay, so they've been trapped in time and gone out back in time in the past before. It's something that's been done a lot of times in Fantastic Four. But here's where they actually set this up before. That's me, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. I bend light and energy fields. I make force fields with my mind. I lead the team. Now, this is where they're, of course, pushing this feminism in this all-new number one first issue. Yay! And they're changing it because, again, Reed Richards has always been the leader. Now Sue Storm has led the team in the past. Usually when Reed Richards, like, lost in space and time and all that, and they presume he's dead, then she has to lead things. And that was a big emotional storytelling thing where she actually, you know, eventually found Reed Richards alive, and it was just like a terrible thing that happened to him and brought him back into the fold, and it was beautiful. But now they're having her just be the leader just to be the leader as a strong female lead. And this is, again, something that's happening in the movie. They wanted to make this in line with the movie, so they just wrote it into here. And it's in a new number one, so we could just do this and just say she's the leader now. We're going to – and notice how they tell you she's the leader. This is an example of bad writing again. Show, don't tell, right? I lead the team. We have to announce it, right? And of course, the panel's drawn with Reed Richards off panel. To further exemplify that he doesn't matter. It's her story, not his story. And so this is just so insulting to comic book fans. Not only are they releasing it with an all-new number one first issue again, not only are they doing that cynical marketing ploy, obviously timed with the movie, but they're feminizing everything at the exact same time, and of course diminishing Reed Richards as a character and diminishing the Fantastic Four and all of its lore in the process. Why? Just because they can. So a lot of people are saying woke is dead these days. It's not. It's the same thing happening in Marvel and DC Comics. No, you boy, Zach, comics aren't good now. This is the same thing happening. This is not good. And it's just the same writers doing the same stuff over and over again at these corporate spots. And it's slop. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Support a real alternative, guys. This is where it's starting. It is really difficult to get people out of the habit of Marvel and DC and to care about actual stories and building new characters. But that's what we're doing here. That's what we've been doing for a lot of years, and I appreciate you guys being here and being real readers. We are building this movement better than ever before, and get on the Substack today. It's in the description below. Thank you so much for reading, and I do have a web store if you'd like to purchase some stuff and check things out. Thanks for being here. We'll be back soon.